Hey y'all, it's Genesis. I'm going to be doing a video on understanding the main differences on the LVN or LPN and RN in nursing. There's a lot of people who just want to go straight for the RN, which I totally get it because I am the same way too. But I feel like since RN is very competitive, it might be worth considering going through the LVN route if you are not able to get into the RN, or maybe you just want to be an LVN. Like, that's also like a great career too. There's many differences in both of them, but you can get to being the RN at the very end with both career paths if that's what your goal is. One is just straight away, and then the other one you're taking baby steps and you can situate a career faster with the LVN. No matter what the reason, I'm just gonna break it down because I had no idea there were two paths to being a nurse. But yeah, so let me just get into it. There are differences in the cost, in the duration of the program, the scope of practice and responsibilities, career opportunities, and pay also. I'm going to be going into all of that. With my experience, I thought, okay, I'm just going to go straight away into RN. I didn't even know there was an option to be an LVN. Had I known that, I probably would have gone the LVN route first and then worked into the RN, just because I waited so many years to try and get into an RN program. And throughout all those years, it sucked really bad, just like waiting and getting rejected and like hoping. When I could have just gone into an LVN program faster, it would have been easier to bridge into the RN. So yeah, like both careers are great. You're still a nurse. You still pretty much do almost the same things. But yeah, I wish I would have known that I could have been a nurse faster and then still gone into being an RN. I applied to many RN programs in the past and I got rejected countless times. I was just literally applying to every single school in SoCal, just hoping and praying that I would get in. But it literally took years to finally get into a program. So that would be one reason that you would probably consider an LVN. Also, it is more expensive to go into an RN program, especially if you're doing private school. It's pretty up there. If you got it like that, good for you. That's amazing. But most people don't. And so an LVN is a really good option to get your foot in the door if you're not doing a community college. And it is a little less expensive than an RN program, actually a lot less expensive than an RN program would be. I was actually in an LVN program with a private school for just a few months, and it was only going to be a 1-year program. There was different reasons why I had to drop that, but I ended up getting into an actual RN program after that. But I was really ready to just go through the LVN route. It's an advanced program, so it's a year, but it's crazy intense. Like, it was intense. Like, I developed hives, but it's only a year. So once you go through the program and you get through it in 1 year, you can be a nurse, which is super cool. You just have to pass your NCLEX exam, and then you're good. You can work as a nurse. So that was really cool. It is still a competitive field, but not as much as the RN. So as far as the RN programs, they're usually 2 to 3 years. You would have to get your associates, which is like a 2 to 3 year program, and or you can get your bachelor's degree, which is a 4-year program. You can go straight away to a 4-year university, or you can do the associates and then get your bachelor's. So it's complicated. It sounds complicated, but yeah, it's just like associates, bachelor's. Just like, it's like a regular any other career. You go to a 4-year university or a 2-year, and then the 4-year to get your bachelor's. There are some schools though that let you do dual enrollment, which is really cool. My school does that, which thank God, I'm so lucky because I did really want to get my bachelor's. So mine is a 2-year program, and then you can also work on your bachelor's at the same time, like during the winter and summer breaks, I believe. So by the time that you're done with the ADN, the associate's degree, there's only like a year left, and then you can get your bachelor's degree. So it's really cool. It's a lot more intense, but you get it done faster. And like at this point, I just want to get it done fast as possible. So yeah, that's kind of like the upside. You can still get your RN from an LVN. There are many bridge programs, which that's the thing too, that it's probably easier to become an RN from, I'm just gonna say LVN, but I know it's LVN and LPN, it's like the same thing. I live in California. We say LVN here. It's probably easier to get into an RN program from being an LVN than from just not having anything. So that's also like a leg up on all the people who are trying to get into a regular RN program. So as far as the scope of practice, there are a few slight differences. I swear, they do pretty much the same things. The LVNs just can't start IVs, and they actually have to work under the supervision of a healthcare provider or a RN. So that's like the main difference. Also, they focus more on vital signs, wound care, assisted daily living activities, administering medication, and just basic nursing. So as far as the RNs, they have a little bit of a broader scope of practice. They can administer the medication, they can do care plans, they can do a patient assessment, which actually LVNs do that too. But they can provide education to the patient as well, start IV lines. There's always a nurse everywhere. There's literally a nurse is needed anywhere. You're never gonna have a problem finding a job being a nurse, that's for sure. Got my coffee with my name on it. Salvadorian coffee, by the way. It's strong. Okay, so as far as the job responsibilities on both, so with the LVNs, they are mainly focused on direct patient care, just making sure that the patient's health is on point, dressing the wounds, assisting with personal hygiene. They work closely with the nurses and providers to make sure that they implement the care plans for the patient. When I say providers, physicians, doctors, nurse practitioners, and all that. RNs have a little bit of a wider range of responsibilities. So the LVNs will work under the RN, and the RNs can call the shots if they think that the patient needs something. Both should be thinking critically, but both should be in communication with each other and working as a team. Yeah, the RN, they need the LVNs as teammates to implement decisions and coordinating the care that the patient needs. They can also have specialties, so they can specialize in geriatrics, pediatrics, critical care, mental health. Yeah, it's very similar. Their jobs are very similar. So as far as career opportunities, so LVN or LPNs, they can pretty much work anywhere, like I said, but there are more limited positions for LVNs compared to RNs. So as far as the settings, they could work in skilled nursing facilities, nursing homes, hospitals, clinics, physician offices, home health care, schools, correctional facilities, rehab centers. I've even seen med spas also, and travel nursing now as well, because nurses in general are in such high demand and there's a shortage. So now LVNs can also travel too. So that was something really cool that I never knew about, and I learned that when I was in the LVN program. So that's exciting. With the RNs, I've seen them work in more diverse type of settings, and they have more of a leadership position just because they went to school for a lot longer, and they can also specialize in different fields. They can go ahead and grab their master's degree and or doctor's degree in those specific fields or become nurse practitioners. So definitely, obviously, hospitals, clinics, physician offices, home health care, community centers, schools, hospice, and obviously travel nursing and med spas. Those are like the two fun ones, I feel like. Like, who wouldn't want to at least try those? So it's pretty much the same areas that an LVN can work at, but I feel like with RNs, they're like, if you're just gonna have one nurse in-house in some sort of business or facility program or whatever, it's more than likely going to be an RN, just because they can cover everything. And then if they need another nurse, then it would probably be an LVN. because LVNs have to work under an RN. So yeah, I've even seen RNs work at cruises. I went to a cruise earlier this year. It's called Friendship. It's a week-long cruise. It was a rave on a cruise, like a huge, long, big rave, 7 days. It was so awesome. But I hurt my ankle and I had to go to the medical office, and they had a nurse there, a registered nurse there. I think she was the only one on there. She was taking care of me. She was so sweet. She was so cool. And she said that she did this on the side. Like, she had her regular nursing job at a hospital, and then she did the cruise ships. And I mean, you could do 2 jobs. I mean, with nursing, working at a hospital, you work 3 days a week, and then you have all the rest of the time to plan out your life or do different fun nursing jobs. So there's definitely a lot of opportunity in it. So I thought that was really cool. They probably even have nurses needed in raves too, like, or concerts. Like, they're bound to have a nurse there. So maybe even LVNs too. So I thought that was pretty cool. As far as the salary, there is a big difference. So with the RNs, they're gonna make more than the LVNs just because they went to school for longer and they have a lot more responsibilities. So as far as their salary, the LVN will probably make from $40,000 to $50,000 per year. And as far as here in California, they make a little bit more. So that range is going to be $48,000 to $64,000 per year. The average salary for the RN is a little higher. It's going to be $65,000 to $85,000 per year, and here in California it's $80,000 to $120,000 per year. So that's pretty good. That is pretty good. I'm very excited about that. So both roles though are much needed in any healthcare facility. It just depends on how much you want to go to school, what type of responsibilities you want, your scope of practice, like what you actually want to be doing, and just your own individual career goals. But they're both very amazing careers. You can always go into being an LVN and then become an RN after that. That's what my idea was, because I did my prerequisites. Oh, and that's another thing for the RNs. You got to do your prerequisites. You can't just go into a nursing program like I thought, and then you're in the program with no like extra classes. No, you have to take your prerequisites, and those are another 2 years. It took me 2 years to do that. So that's why I went to school for so long. If you guys haven't seen my nursing journey video, check it out, because girl, it was a long journey to get to this place. So, and it's just the beginning. I'm not done yet, but yeah, there's a lot of requirements for the RN. So once all your science classes are done, then you can apply into the nursing program, and it's competitive. My idea was, since it was so competitive and I was not getting in, I was going to go through the LVN route and do private school, and then go into a bridge program to the RN route. So that's also something you could do. Or you can just go straight away if it's not as competitive where you live. But here in SoCal, it's like a different animal. It's definitely worth it. It's worth the persistence if you do live in this area and you're trying to be an RN. But just to let you know, you have options. It might be even better, instead of waiting years and years to try to get into a program, to just go into the LVN and then bridge faster. And while you're in the RN program, you have that LVN money coming in, so you're not like completely broke for 3 years like the rest of us. So yeah, just something to think about. Or you might even like the LVN and just think that's what you want to continue to do. And yeah, there's just so many things, so many options. But that was my little video explaining the different routes of nursing, and something that I wish I knew before. So hopefully this helped you guys out a little bit and helped you gain more clarity. Thank you for watching. Sub to my channel for nursing, beauty, and vegan content, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.